morning, students. Today we are going to uh, start with the second module here of microwave antenna here, microwave network theory and passive devices here. So these are the topics which we are going to cover for the completion of this particular module here. We are going to learn regarding the Z parameters, Y parameters, S matrix representation, properties of S parameters, comparisons, and certain devices here, coaxial connectors, attenuators, phase shifters, and wavegate T's and magic T's here. So let us begin with the introduction of the microwave network theory here. The first part one. So what is exactly the definition of the microwave network? Is nothing but here we will be having a microwave devices here, such as attenuators, resonators, filters, amplifiers, which are coupled together by some waveguide or the transmission lines here for the purpose of a specific microwave signal to be transmitted here. And the point of intersection for two or more devices is called as a junction here. Okay, so for the low frequency network here, so what is exactly we have to understand at this point here is, so for low frequency network here, so we need to understand that there is a port will be there here, which is a pair of terminals here, while in a microwave network here, port is treated as a reference planes here. Okay, reference planes of the transmission line here. And also at the low frequencies here, whatever the current and voltages are there, we are able to measure this with the help of certain terms called as impedance here, that is Z parameters, and admittance Y parameters, and hybrid parameters H or ABCD parameters here. Okay, so further, if at all we try to understand what is exactly this microwave network in theory here. So we are having something called as a two-port network here. So you are able to see in the particular PDF here, in the first A diagram here, you are able to see one device here, okay, which is of a square one here. Then we are having an input voltage here, that is at a port 1, we are having an input voltage and input current we are having here. There is an incident voltage, V1 plus is considered incident voltage, V minus 1 is considered as a reflected here. In the same side, there is a port 2 is there. Across the port 2, there is voltage V2 is there, and there is output current I2 is there here. Right? So at the same time, again, there is a V2 plus, which has been incident at the port 2 here, V2 minus, which is a reflected one here. Okay. The second figure you can see a little bit more simplified one or enhanced one you can consider here. See at the input side, there is a generator here. Okay, we are having certain resistance here, that is nothing but a generator resistance here. We are having P1 as a power input here, and PR as a power reflected here. Okay, power reflected, and P1 PI minus of PR is considered as a power transmitted here. In the same way, we are having Z0 as a characteristic impedance here at the input side, and A1 and B1 are nothing but here incident and the reflected respectively at the port 1 here. In the same side, output you can consider here, ZL is nothing but here load impedance here, P0 is nothing but your output power here, A2 and B2 are considered as a incident and the reflected at the port 2 here. Okay, Z0 is again the characteristic impedance at the port 2 side here. Okay, so this is how we can represent the two-port simple network here. Further, these two-port networks and their relationship are being given in this particular page here. That is V1 V2 is equal to Z1 Z12 Z21 Z22 into I1 and I2 is nothing but a matrix form it is given here. Okay, in the same way, other parameters are been represented. This is Z parameters, this is Y parameters, this is H parameters, and ABCD parameters here. So whatever the current and voltages were there here in the low frequency network, we are able to express or measure in terms of these parameters here. But when we have this microwave circuits here, or the circuits which are operating at the microwave signal here, it is a bit difficult to use these parameters here. So there are some three reasons are there why exactly we are not able to utilize these H parameters, ABCD parameters, Y parameters, and Z parameters for the analysis of the microwave circuits here. Okay, first and foremost thing is that there are we don't have an equipment here which are able to measure the currents here. Okay, which are able to measure the currents at high frequency here, or non-availability of the terminal voltage at the high frequency here. Second point which I'm going to mention here is that so we are short circuit and by open circuit here we are able to measure the voltage and currents using the H parameters at a low frequency here. But the same thing is not possible. Okay, at the high frequency, that is nothing but a micro frequency. Short circuit and open circuit are not easily achieved here. Okay. Then third point which I'm going to mention here is that because of some active devices in the micro network here or micro circuit here, what is going to happen here is that we are not able to get the stable output open circuit and closed circuit here. Okay, so these are the three limitations which we have encountered while measuring the voltages and currents at a micro frequencies with the help of these H parameters, ABCD, Z and Y parameters here. Now, with the help of something called as S parameters, something but the scattering parameters here. So, with the help of scattering parameters, we are able to analyze the microwave circuits here. Okay, so this S parameters are able to relate the incident waves amplitude and the reflected waves amplitude here. Okay, so many of the circuit analysis techniques which are applicable at the low frequency, the same circuit analysis are applicable at high frequency also. There is nothing but here microwave circuits here. And whatever the circuit analysis we are doing here, which is in terms of S parameters, can also be related to Z, Y, or BCD parameters here. Okay, so let us move on to the next topic here. That is nothing but here symmetrical Z and Y parameters here. What exactly we wanted to prove in this particular topic here is that we wanted to prove that Z and Y are matrices are symmetrical for the reciprocal network here. Okay, so in this case here, what we are trying to understand is, so let us understand the let us go with the topic here. So it is we are having let us assume that the first in the first point which we have mentioned here, let us assume that we are having n port networks here. Okay, we are having n port networks. If at all we are having n port networks here, okay, so let the incident wave amplitude be Vn plus here. Okay, I already told here incident wave could be represented as a V plus here. So incident wave amplitude is written as Vn plus here. That is n ports we are having. No? Okay, so let us consider that we are having the total voltage here. Total voltage Vn is equal to Vn plus Vn minus here. Okay, so plus is incident and minus is reflected here at all ports here. The n is equal to 1, 2 up to capital N here, except one port here, ith port. We don't know the what exactly the port number here, except the ith port where the fields are EI and HI here. Okay, that particular port, ith port is having as electric field and magnetic field H here. Okay, now let us consider another case here where let Vn is equal to 0. Vn is nothing but here total voltage here. Total voltage is equal to 0 for all the n ports here, except the jth port here where EJ and HJ are the fields here. Electric and magnetic fields are there here. Yeah, these two are the conditions we have got here. What is the condition here? We are having the total voltage as Vn for all the ports here, except the ith port whose electric and magnetic field are EI and HI. And the second condition what we are going to do here is we are going to consider the total voltage of all the ports Vn is equal to 0 except one port, that is Z port, where EJ and HJ are there. So from the reciprocity theorem here, Lorentz reciprocity theorem here, we can use this particular two condition to represent the equation number 1 here. Okay, that is integration of S here into the bracket of EI into HJ minus of EJ into HI ds equal to 0 here. Okay, so this with the help of above two conditions here, we are able to formulate the equation number 1 here. So what is S here? S is nothing but the closed surface area enclosing the junction and endpoints here, right? Enclosing the junction and endpoints in the absence of any source here. Okay. So now the next point which we're going to mention is non-zero integrals are here. Okay, non-zero integrals are what we can say is there here. We have to consider these two ports here, right? Where exactly we were having this electric field and a magnetic field was there, right? So those two ports are only considered here. Okay, so Vn is equal to 0 except Vi and Vj here. Okay, in that case here, at time Ti, okay, N into Ei will be there, at time Tj, N into Ej will be there here, at T1 and Ti and Tj here. Okay, so non-zero integrals here. So where we are having certain electric and magnetic fields here. Only at the ith port and the jth port we are having the electric and the magnetic field. Those two ports only will be considered in the second equation here. Okay, considering that one, we'll go to the next. Therefore, equation 2 can also be reduced here. Reduces to uh, Ei into Hj here. Okay. Okay. Now, if at all there is a reduction of equation 2 to this equation number 3 here. Okay. So now we can see that in the equation 4 could be written as Pij is equal to Pji. What is Pij? Pij is nothing but here, as we have described in the initial stages here. What is exactly the definition of the port in the microwave network? That is nothing but here represents the power at a reference plane I due to the input voltage at plane J here. Okay. What is Pij? Pij is nothing but here there is a certain power, okay, at the reference plane I due to the input voltage at plane J here. Okay. In the same way, Pji is also represented as the same thing here. That is, there is a power at reference plane J due to the input voltage at plane I here. Okay, this is what we can understand from the equation number 4 here. Okay, now we know that admittance matrix representation. This is the given thing which we are having here. I is equal to Y into V here. We also know the power relationship. P is equal to V into I here. Okay, so P is equal to V into I is nothing but we can substitute this P is equal to Vi here. Okay, Vij, so I is equal to again Y into V. Okay, you can substitute this equation here. This equation in equation number 4 and this equation also in equation number 4 here. So if that is the case, then equation 4 reduces to this thing here. That is Vi, Vj, Yij is equal to Vj into Vi into Vji. Okay, so Yji here. Okay, so that is nothing but your admittance parameters, and this is nothing but impedance parameter. This actually proves that the impedance and admittance matrices are symmetric for a reciprocal network here, or you can say reciprocal junctions here. Okay, so this is how we can understand regarding the symmetrical Z and Y matrices for the reciprocal network here. First and foremost thing we have to I just revise here. What we have to do here is we have to consider the multi-port N networks here, where total voltage is Vn, nothing but incident and the reflected voltage here. All the ports voltage we have to consider, and we have to just leave except ith port here, that is Ei and Hi. We have to consider all the ports equal to 0 except jth port here, where the fields will be Ej and Ha. From there we are going to get some Lorentz reciprocity theorem here. Okay, so this if it is reduced if at all we consider non-zero integrals here, that is nothing but here we have to make sure that the voltage is equal to 0 for all the ports here except these two ports here, where exactly we are having the fields here. Okay, electric and magnetic fields. Then we will be having this power. Okay, so this power equation is there. Then this power equation can be reduced to this admittance and the impedance matrices here. Okay, this is how we can prove that admittance and impedance matrices are symmetrical for reciprocal junction here. So let us move on to the next mm, topic here, that is S parameters or S matrix representation of multi-port network or scattering parameters here. So incident and reflected amplitudes of microwave at any port are used to characterize the microwave circuit here. Okay. So here we are trying to utilize this incident and reflected amplitudes here of a microwave at any port to characterize a microwave circuit here. Okay. The amplitudes are normalized in such a way that the square of any of these variables gives the average in that wave in the following manner here. Like see, input power at the nth port is considered as a P in is equal to 1 by 2 En square here. Okay, square of any of these variables gives the average in that wave here. Okay, so this is how we are going to have the normalized amplitudes here. The amplitudes are normalized here in such a way that the square of any of these variables gives the average in that wave in the following manner. Input power, if you consider, this is how we are going to get here. So again, the reflected power at the end port you can consider that is normalized here. It is 1 by 2 Bn square here. Okay, modulus square here. Okay. N is nothing but here normalized incident wave amplitude. Bn is nothing but normalized reflected wave amplitude here at the end port here. In the two-port network here, we can express the normalized waves as two-port network. You can see here VI1. VI1, A1 is the thing here, VI1 divided by root Z0 here. You can see in the figure here. So this is also VI1 is the thing with here, voltage across port 1 minus the voltage that is been reflected here. That is nothing but here VI1 here divided by root Z0. You can see in the figure here. Just I will just show you the figure here. Okay. In the first page we have seen here. Okay, this one VI is nothing but here. If at all you wanted to find the incident here, what you have to do VI plus minus of VI minus here. VI plus minus of VI minus V1 minus you will get the V1 here. Okay, that is nothing but here our A divided by root Z0. Z0 is nothing but the characteristic impedance of the particular device here. Okay, this is how we can write the equation in a similar manner. We can also write the further equations here of S parameters here. A2 is nothing but here. What is A2 here? A2 is nothing but here. The incident parameter you can consider here, or incident current or voltage both you can consider. So incident parameter at the port 2 here, that is nothing but here VI2 divided by root Z0 here. So how do you get this VI2? VI2 is nothing but here whole voltage V2 minus of whatever the reflected voltage is there at the port 2. That's why V2 minus of VR2 divided by root Z0 is nothing but our A2 here. Okay, B1 is nothing but here VR1 divided by root Z0. How will you get here? Same thing, that is total voltage at port 1 minus of whatever the incident voltage you can consider at port 1 divided by root Z0. The same way B2 also VR2 divided by root Z0 here. Okay, normalized incident waves and normalized reflected waves here. Okay, that consider here. Now the total voltage. What is the total voltage? Total voltage is nothing but here sum of incident and reflected voltage is here. Okay, so we have total voltage. That is total voltage at port 1 is VI1 plus VR2, and the total voltage at port 2 is VI2 plus VR2 here. The total or net power flows into any port is given by, okay, any port is given by P is equal to Pi minus of PR is equal to 1 divided by what is Pi? You know the Pi equation, and PR equation you know. You can substitute that equation and you will get this particular equation, that is 1 by 2 into bracket of modulus of A square minus of modulus of B square. Okay. This is how we are going to get the total or net power here that is going to flow into any port here. Okay, now in the normalization process here, Z0, okay, whatever the Z0 is there, no, okay, that is nothing but a characteristic impedance is considered to be unity here. The two-port network here, you can see in the first phase figure here, 1b. The relation between incident and reflected waves are expressed in terms of scattering parameters, Sij here. Okay, so Sij is expressed as B1 is equal to S11 A1 plus S12 A2. B2 is equal to S21 A1 plus S22 A2 here. So what is exactly the physical significance of S parameters, whatever we have written in the above equation here? That is nothing but here S11. S11 is equal to B1 divided by A1, keeping the condition as A2 is equal to 0. Okay, this S11 is nothing but a reflection coefficient at port 1 here. When port 2 is terminated with a matched load, that is A2 is equal to 0. If at all you put the A2 is equal to 0 in the above equation, that is V1 is equal to S11 A1 plus S12 A2, you will have that equation as S11 is equal to B1 by A1. This is nothing but a reflection coefficient at port 1 here. Okay. The same way, if at all you wanted to have the reflection coefficient at port 2 here, what you have to do here is again you have to terminate the port 1 with the matched load, that is A1 is equal to 0. Okay, so it is reflection coefficient 2 here. There is nothing but here V2 divided by A2 and A1 is equal to 0. The same way S12 and S21, S12 and S21 are nothing but here. It is attenuation here that we are going to achieve in the transmission of a wave from port 1 to port 2 or from port 2 to port 1 here. So these are the four S parameters we are having here. So these incident and reflected waves are both the amplitude and the phase here. These parameters are complex numbers here. Then how exactly this could be represented in the can be expressed in a S parameters equations are expressed by the matrix form here. B1 to Bn and S1 to S1, S1 to S1n, S21, so on to into A1, A2 to An here. This is how we are able to represent the S matrix representation or scattering parameters here. So just I will repeat once again here. You have to consider the input power, the input and reflected power at the input here. Then try to understand what is exactly A1, A2, V1 and V2 here. You have to write in terms of voltages, that is incident and reflected voltages here, corresponding to that particular ports here. Then we try to understand what is the total incident wave voltage and reflected voltage here. And then we try to understand how exactly the power is being supplied from port 1 to port 2 here. Then we represent them in terms of S parameters here. Okay. Then what is exactly the single physical significance the S parameters here? S11 and S22 are nothing but a reflection coefficient. S12 and S21 are nothing but here. You can consider a transmission coefficient, you can consider here. Okay, so this is how, and lastly we are going to represent these parameters in terms of matrix here. Okay, this is how we are able to understand S matrix representation or scattering matrix representation here. Okay. Then let us understand another topic here, that is nothing but our losses in network here. Okay, so in microwave circuit here, it is important to express losses in terms of the S parameters here when the ports are matching terminals here. So usually you can see again in the figure 1b here, in the initial stages we are having that figure 1b here. We are able to see at the port 1 there is a Pi as an incident power, that is power that has been fed here. And the power that has been reflected at port 1 is PR. The power output at port 2 is P naught here. The following losses are defined in terms of S parameters here. Okay, insertion loss. Okay. Insertion loss is nothing but here, it is nothing but whatever the loss that is been incurred in transmission through a line or a device here, it has been compared directly to deliver the energy without the line or device here. Okay, this is how you can understand the insertion loss here. Power or energy that has been transmitted with the help of a line or a device comparable to the direct delivery of the energy or a power without the line or a device here. Okay, this is how we are able to understand the insertion loss here, how much has been lost. This has been represented with the 10 log Pi by P out here, incident power, okay, or the power that has been fed at a port 1 to the power that has been taken from the port 2 here, output port. So that is Pi is nothing but here A1 whole square and B2 square, that is B2 magnitude square. So that is nothing but here B2 by A1 is nothing but here your S21 parameters here, S21 parameter. So this is how S21 can also be written as S12 also here. So this is how we can represent the insertion loss here. So it is usually contributed by the help of three things here. That is mismatch loss at the input, attenuation loss through the device, and mismatch loss at the output here. Okay, this is insertion loss here. There are transmission or attenuation loss here. How exactly transmission loss here? There is nothing but here whatever the input power is there minus the reflected power divided by the total energy or the power that has been transmitted to the node here. This will give your transmission loss here. Pi, that is P incident minus P reflected divided by the P output here, will give me what you can say that transmission loss here. So in this equation here, so what we are going to do, like I just wanted to cancel the Pi, so I'm dividing by the Pi here to the whole equation numerator and denominator here. Pi divided by Pi will have 1 here. Pr divided by Pi will have this one. P naught divided by P1 here. So you know the Pr value at the port 1 will be there here. So B1, Pi is nothing but here A1, P out is nothing but B2, Pi is nothing but here A1 here. So put those A, B in, put those B values in terms of A and B here. We'll have S parameters here, S11, S21 here. Okay. So this is how we can represent the transmission loss in terms of S parameter, that is 10 log of 1 minus S11 modulus square divided by S21 modulus square here. Reflection loss is nothing but here. We can write it as Pi divided by the Pi minus of PR here. That is nothing but incident divided by incident minus of reflected here. So I just wanted to have this in terms of S parameters here. So dividing Pi in the numerator and denominator, we will get this 1 divided by 1 minus of PR divided by Pi here. That is nothing but in S1 parameter here. Okay, that's reflection coefficient at port 1 here. Return loss is nothing but here. Okay, how much has been written in the port 1 here? Pi divided by Pi here, total. So that is nothing but here, reflection coefficient here. Okay, at the port 1, that is nothing but 1 divided by S1 modulus. These are the what you consider core losses that we have come across in the transmission line or the microwave circuit network here. Just remember these four losses here. First one is your insertion loss, transmission loss, okay, then return loss and reflection loss here. Okay. So till now what we have learned is, we have learned regarding the introduction part here, that is micro network theory, and then we have learned regarding the parameters here, Z, Y, H and ABCD parameters here. So these are not able to utilize in identifying or getting the current and voltage equations here, low high frequency, and hence we are trying to move to the S parameters here. Okay, so S parameters can also be related to Z, Y, and ABCD parameters here. Okay, then we try to understand regarding the symmetric Z and Y matrices for reciprocal network here. There we have to understand regarding the incident voltage or incident wave amplitude Vn. Okay, total voltage you have to consider and except one port, and total voltage is equal to 0 except one port. Together we get some Lorentz reciprocity theorem here. There we are able to prove that impedance and admittance matrices are symmetric for reciprocal junction here. Then thereafter we are trying to understand scattering parameters here. Okay, scattering parameters, first we need to understand the input power at nth port and output power, reflected power at the nth port here. Then we try to understand the incident or reflected wave with the normalized waves. We have to understand A1, B1, A2, and B2. Thereafter, we need try to understand how much the incident wave and the reflected wave with the different ports here. Then we try to understand how much the net power is being transmitted from any port here. Okay. Then after the normalization process here, Z0 is equal to UT. There we are able to find V1 and V2 here. Then physical significance of the S parameters we need to understand. That is S parameters. That is S11, S22, S12, S21. Okay, S11 and S22 is nothing but here reflection coefficient here at the respective port here, and hence S12 and S21 is nothing but here transmission coefficient here at port 1 to port 2 or port 2 to port 1 here. Then we have understand regarding the losses here. There are four types of losses. That is, one is nothing but here insertion loss, one is transmission loss, and the other one is reflection loss and the data loss. All these losses has to be represented in terms of the S parameters. Okay. The further topics I will be taking in the next video, or I will cover in the next video.